now in Toronto. Bottom of the inning. And now the catcher comes up to hit. Brandon Valenzuela. The pitch. That one's in there. That's strike one. And that's downstairs and outside. And that one hit to first. Freeman takes it himself. One up, one down. And it'll be George Springer to step to the plate.
George Springer.
That's in there. It's 0-1.
He's been going after these guys consistently, and as a result, he's been able to keep his pitch count low, throwing the ball very well right now.
Swing and a base hit. Around first, heading for two. Relay to second, not in time. He's got a double. One out, runner at second. And the batter now, Dalton Varsho. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. And he chases that one below the zone.
Good late sink on that fastball. Out of the hand, looks so good. And then by the time he gets in the hitting zone, hard to get the barrel to it.
One out, the runner at second. Last half of inning number 5. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Up next for the
So up next for Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in there at the knees for a strike. That misses off the outside edge. Swing and a ball popped up. Freeland makes the catch, and that'll do it. One left for Toronto. Deficit remains at 4. It's 7-3. Top 6. And now it's the switch hitting second baseman, Alex Freeland. A wind in the pitch. And that one just misses. A ball and no strikes.
You know, these Dodgers, simply put, are producing a lot of quality swings. They have 5 extra base hits on the stat sheet so far, and that tells me they're seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well.
Now back to the top of the lineup, and now Shohei Ohtani.
With all those extra base hits, it's easy to think we're going to see that trend continue the rest of the game. They seem to be really locked in at the plate.
Foul ball. One down, base is empty. Ball one there. That misses. The count now 2-2.
And that's awfully close. I don't know how you take that. He's seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand really well right now.
And that's too high. Foul. We'll see another payoff pitch. Kicks and fires. Spoils a 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another.
Well, he's having a tough time getting a pitch by him. As a hitter, you feel pretty confident that you're seeing different pitches still able to make some type of contact.
Fly ball down the line. This has got a chance, and it is foul. Right-handed reliever. And there's ball 4. It wasn't easy, but he earned that walk after a long at-bat. One gone, runner at first. And up next for Los Angeles, Kyle Tucker. And a good eye there. Man at first, one away. Swing and a miss. And the count 1-1.
Instead of letting the hitter get his arms extended, tied him up a little bit, slightly up, slightly in.
That one is absolutely belted. And it's off the foul pole for a home run. A massive home run. And they add a pair. It's 9-3.
And with the 6-run lead, There are fans that are starting to head to the exits. Well, he really crushed that thing down the line, and everyone had to hold their breath until it clanked off the pole. And every time that happens, it just kind of feels like how
Tommy Nance will take over here.
And with the big deficit on the scoreboard, he almost has to just put that out of his mind. Every outing matters for relievers and their numbers, but I think it's tough to get up for this type of appearance the same way you would for one in a close game.
Jimenez tosses across to first, and they get the out on Smith.
The first baseman, number 5, Freddie.
And here's the first baseman, Freddie Freeman.
And remember, he was absolutely robbed of a base hit last time up.
On the ground, right side, Clement to first, and Freeman is retired. And that is the inning. But 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run homer. It's now 9-3. You're watching Major League Baseball on The Show. And welcome back to the ballpark. Now the left fielder, Jesus Sanchez. To the right side. And that chance handled. Fires to first on the run. And he beats the throw very close right there. And it looks like they might end up challenging this one. Very close play. And we will take another look as well.
I couldn't tell in live action, that's for sure. And, you know, the umpire is so much closer to the play, and he thought he beat the throw, so we'll see.
Another look at it. Singer, are you seeing enough to change the call?
Yeah, I think so, Boog. I mean, it's close, but I think after looking at it a few times, we can see that this guy's probably out, and could be a good use of the challenge right here.
Looks like we've got an answer, and he's out. They took a chance with the challenge, and it paid off for him.
Upon video review,
1 out, base is empty. Now the third baseman, Kazuo Oka.
Out.
And first offering is fouled off. And that's down and away. The 1-1 is fouled off. Down to the dirt, swing and a miss. And there's 2 gone following the strikeout.
You hear people talk about letting the ball travel so
22.
often in terms of a hitting approach, and that's a great example why right there. If he's willing to let that curveball get a little deeper into the zone before he commits, he's way more likely to recognize that it's making a beeline for the dirt. On the other side, still a nice 2-strike pitch, though.
On the ground to the left. Sends it across to first. Bang, bang play, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. Still way back. It's 9-3. We go to the top of the 7th. Here's the left fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. The pitch. A swing and a miss, and that's strike 1.
Big time GM right there. I hate it as a hitter, but standing in center field, you can't help but chuckle a little bit.
Here's the 0-1. To third, Oka. Slings to first, and they get the leadoff hitter in the 7th. So digging in, Andy Pajes. Inside, almost got him. Bounced out to short. Jimenez zips it across, and 2 away to start the 7th.
Now batting, the third baseman, Max Muncy.
2 outs, base is empty. Max Muncy at the dish. 1 for 3. Fastball for a strike. Two outs.
This guy's pounding the zone. Hitters don't have time to think in between pitches.
And that's in the dirt. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, 2 outs and a chance to put up a 0 on the scoreboard here, and that's not something that's come easy for this staff in this one.
That one to first. Guerrero tosses to the pitcher covering the bag. They get the out on Muncy, and it's a 1-2. Back here at Rogers Center. Now it's the right field.
The right fielder,
Nathan Lucas. Yamamoto back to work. Hit hard. That gets through. And the leadoff man aboard.
Now, no waiting around right there. He was ready to swing it on the first pitch. Not much to this one other than just a willingness to go the other way and put the ball in play. That's a team at bat right there. Nice job of staying back and letting the ball get deep.
The Jays with a lot of ground to make up here at the bottom of the 7th. That one pushed foul out of play off to the left. Still 2-2 after the foul ball. And the pitch. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. 2-2 now. Out towards left center. Hernandez racing over to make the catch. And at first, Brandon Valenzuela next up for the Blue Jays. And that one fouled off. That clips the zone. And it's 0-2. The pitch. That's a base hit. Throws to second. Runner holds up at second. 2 aboard now.
He was all over that one. That's a good sound coming off the bat, man. And as he connected out front and lifted into the outfield, that's one of those swings where you just don't even feel the ball hit the barrel. That's a pure stroke.
2 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt.
1-2.
Got it by him for the K.
That's about as nasty of a splitter as you'll come across, especially in terms of movement. I mean, that thing tumbles out of his hand and just drops off the table at the last moment. He keeps it down. It's just so tough to put wood on.
Varsho stands in here, leaves that one off the inside. Right through there for a strike.
That splitty's a pretty nasty pitch. Explodes out of the hand, looks like a fastball, and the bottom just falls out of it.
And that is that. This one pretty well decided at this point. We look ahead to inning number 8. It's the Dodgers 9 and the Blue Jays 3. We're at the top of the 8th, and at the plate for the Dodgers, Rocket Kim. The pitch. The shortstop takes the ball. Meanwhile, activity in the bullpen. Spencer Miles getting ready to go. Man supply, a left-hander, also throwing. The other way. Whips it to first. 1 up, 1 down.
The batter,
Alex Freeland steps to the plate for the Dodgers.
Freeland.
Just off the inside edge. Nance, 33 years old, and they traded for him earlier this year. He was late there. Strike 1. And a swing and a miss.
He's been able to go inside as well as outside, effectively working both sides of the plate in this at bat.
Ripped on a line. Sanchez settles under it and makes the catch. And there's 2 away. Back to the top of the Dodgers order. Shohei Ohtani up to the dish.
Otani.
And first offering is fouled off. The Dodgers up big in this one, and we're in the top of the 8th. Swings through that one out in front that time.
0-2.
And a swing and a miss, and that's that. Dodgers go down quiet. On to the bottom of the 8th, and now the first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He swings and fouls one off. Righty delivers. Breaking ball through there for a strike. Just missing there. 1-2 the count. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Out towards right center. That's well struck. And it's a one-hopper off the wall. Should be extra bases. Safe at second with a leadoff double.
There he is coming through with a knock right there. I like the fact that he can pick him up and put him down a little bit. First base.
And here comes the Dodgers manager to the mound. New pitcher on now, Alex Vesia.
Compared to some days, this is a pretty low leverage appearance for him, so he should be fairly free and easy out there. Still have to keep yourself sharp and attack the strike zone.
Sanchez stands in here. Tried to hold back his swing there, but went around. That breaking ball is in for a strike, and quickly it is 0-2. And they'll do it again. Here comes a pitch towards first, and he picks it up in foul territory.
If you're going to get something going, this is the time to do it. You get the leadoff man on. Everybody's got to look over the shoulder and say, I'm just going to keep the line moving. Don't try to do too much. That swing right there tells me he's seeing the ball pretty well. I know it didn't produce a hit, but he made solid contact, and that's all you're looking to do anytime you're at the plate.
The 1-0. Swing and a pop-up. Foul at a play off to the right side. That'll find the stands. Way outside. 2-1. Way out front for strike 2. 2-2. Swung on. Popped up on the infield. Under it. Puts it away for the out. And now for the Jays, Ernie Clement. On the ground. Into the outfield. Base hit. The throw in. And he's in there as a run scores. 2 outs, runner at first. Nathan Lucas digs in now. And that drops in for a strike. A little out front there as he swings through it.
The pitch started in and ended up on the outside edge. Just changing planes and very difficult, especially for a left-handed hitter to track.
At the belt and fires. Line drive, and that should be extra bases. Clement around second, headed for third. Coming home. Now a relay to the plate, and he's out. Butt down, and that ends the inning.
Textbook defensive execution right there. Outfielder hits the cutoff man. Relay throw to the plate. A perfect strike and a great way to end the inning.
Back now in Toronto. All set to start the 9th in this one. And here is Kyle Tucker. Nance back to work. And first offering is fouled off. Left-hand hitter waits. Foul ball there. That one just missing inside. And the count is 1-2. Movement in the Blue Jays bullpen. Mason Flaherty preparing to come on if needed. Got him swinging.
Really love the pitch sequence right there. I'm telling you what, pitcher and catcher on the same page right now.
Misses the zone and he gets him to chase.
Oh, that's that slurve right there. He threw it extremely well. You talk about just a ton of breaks. So tough to get that barrel to.
And that is cut on and missed.
2.
With 2 now. Base is empty, 1 away here at the top of the 9th. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout.
Oh, there's a 3-pitch strikeout. He can do whatever he wants with the baseball right now.
And next will be the Dodgers cleanup hitter, Freddie Freeman. Swing and a miss. That's strike 1.
1 strike.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. Nothing doing for the offense. So they turn to Edwin Diaz out of the pen.
And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
And the batter will be the shortstop, Andres Jimenez. Swinging a foul back. That's out of play. Off the mark there. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's the strike at the knees. That one the other way. And out number 1 on the grab.
It's never fun going back to the dugout after hitting a line drive that finds a glove, but you will get some high fives. You know, when you make great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control.
So it's their last chance in this one. Now it's the DH, George Springer. That one finds the zone. Strike 1. 2 down, nobody on. Here in the last half of inning number 9. Banks off the wall. Around first and hustling for second. And he's got his second double of the game.
With that fastball, even though it's high velocity, you've got to live on the outer edges. When it's right on the tee, right down the middle, professional hitters are not going to have a problem turning it around.
And that's off the inside edge. And the count is 1-1. They're down to their final strike.
Clearly was sitting on a fastball right there and just ended up out in front of the slider. Hey, you can't fault him for his commitment. Now he's just going to have to battle with 2 strikes.
Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2. 1 strike away. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Springer on at second with 2 down. Good job to fight that one off. And a pitch. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Here comes Springer around third. The throw in, but it's offline.
Well, that was one of those high percentage advantage counts where batting averages are just so much higher. Once you get the ball by the pitcher, there's a lot of base hits up the middle, even on ground balls. So a nice job to use that big hole and get himself a hit.
And a pitch. Fights it off. You'll see another. The Dodgers leading by 4. We're in the last half of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss, and he got him. And that wraps it up for this afternoon.
These hitters came to the yard today thinking one thing: launch mode. 6 home runs. Just an incredible offensive display today. Even by today's standards, that is a huge total.
Our final score here, 9-5. Dave Roberts and company celebrate in the dugout. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.